everybody. Happy Monday, the 20th. Yeah, I'm just super excited you're all here on this exciting Monday. And we're gonna do a couple little announcements and then we'll dive right into training and we will have our fun power half hour lunch meeting. So congrats to Jade, who has doubly earned leaders lunch so far because she has welcomed two new teammates so far this month. So proud of you, Jade, from the Sadler unit. She's got big goals. She's got a lot of big goals, and I know she's
What's
gonna
Jade's current position?
once her teammates are active, she will be a senior consultant. But she could be a red jacket once they're all active too.
All right.
So
Promote yourself
just
to a
waiting
new
for them to
position.
get active.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right. Fantastic, Jade.
Yes. And then don't forget about all the fun, fabulous prizes you ladies can earn cumulatively, which is new for us this month. So super excited. A lot of people are on target for the stickers. We have Valerie from my unit who has already earned the stickers. But yes, we have the growth table with $1 million sales director Rachel Zarling. Once you have 300 wholesale plus one, this month, join the Full Circle Club, get both of the above, plus the cute little branded luggage tag, which is so fun for travel and all the things. The Elite Full Circle Club, you upgrade to that travel makeup mirror or just keeping it everywhere because, when you're trying to fight for the lighting and the mirrors and you have other humans in the house, sometimes it's just convenient to have your own little setup.
And okay, a little tech tip. I have been on the road without a ring light and I've used my makeup mirror behind my computer. So
Yes.
double duty.
Yes, I love that tip. And then if you want to go full out, be a star consultant this month, Executive Full Circle Club, be a star, earn a medal, which I know Jade is already on her way with two. A medal is 3 or more teammates in the month. And that will also put you on target for National Court of Sales, which is super exciting. And you get the cute packing cubes plus all of the above. And Wednesday, we have bingo on Zoom this week. And look at those. These are legit the purses that they are going to be giving away, plus this one that kind of got stuck up there. So lots of fun purses for your guests and you to win on Wednesday. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern. I know the original picture said 7, but that's because it's Central Time because of all my Wisconsin people. But it is 8 p.m. our time zone, and bingo goes fast. So if you know you or your friends might struggle technologically to get on Zoom, I highly encourage them to try and get on Zoom 5 to 10 minutes before, because those girls, they're going to start right away. So you want to be prepared early.
All right,
Questions?
before we move on, Danny, tell me the official name of our brand new super techie amazing device. What's the official name?
Oh, hold
I
on.
was counting on you.
I know skin. Well, I keep getting it mixed up with the other one. Hold on. I have it on my phone,
I
and
know
I've
I
been
want to
using
see
it.
figure.
It's amazing, and I love it. It is the Skin Vigorate Duo.
Okay, the Skin Vigorate Duo is 95 retail,
Yes.
right? All right. So let's just talk for a hot second about the 300 Club. So Debbie Lamadole says anybody can buy Mary Kay. We teach you to sell Mary Kay, right? So when you're in the retail club and the wholesale club, we know that's from work activity. But like the Skin Vigorate Duo is 95. That's one for you, one to sell, and one to show. So you're not taking yours out of the bathroom all the time. Throw in a mascara and an oil-free eye makeup remover, and girl, you get your stickers in the club. You're part of the A1 team, like all of the things. Like the sooner you get this device, the sooner you can show it and sell it. And like seriously, this isn't on the go. You can be having this in your in your purse and showing it on your lunch break at your day job. You don't even have to be a working consultant for this. This is like hobby level stuff to like get your products at a discount with the money that your friends and neighbors and cousins spend with you. So like, let's just take the mystification out of 300 this month. Like so easy, because that honestly, Christmas is going to start being marketed in a month or two. You're going to see all this kind of tech hitting the marketplace, and we're ahead of the curve on it. So don't wait until Sephora is tempting your customers. Show them now.
Yes. And shout out to Debbie from the Christofiak unit, who she's already sold like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, we
Like
need to
physically
have her make a
sold, cash in
video.
hand, sold them. So congrats to her. I know she doesn't
Congratulations,
even
Debbie.
have
And
hers in hand
also,
yet.
Send a video to Danny so we can post in my group and hers. We need to know what you're doing and how you're doing it.
I know.
Well
I asked her,
done.
like, what are you saying? I want to
Yeah,
know.
teach us. Teach
Oh,
us. So, oh, wise one.
yes. And I do want to say, like, to get your customers over the price point, and I posted this in my Duchess Dynasty Messenger group, but I can send it to anyone who needs it. If you compare our device to other ones on the market, it is the best price point, and it does two things, not just one. So, like, there is a PMD clean facial cleansing device. It only cleanses, it does not do the massaging part, so only half the function. That retails for 99. There's one, the PMD clean brand has one that does do both, that's 179. Okay, and then there's one called the Foreo Luna 4 facial device. It is 219. And then they have another device from that brand which doesn't massage, and that's 179. So for ours that does the massaging, and I'll send this to you, Diane.
Oh,
Does the
thank you.
massaging and the cleansing, it is literally the best price point out of all of them. So yeah,
Yeah, send me that, please.
it's pretty crazy. I just came across this.
That's great.
So yeah.
Because you know your customers are going to look it up too. They're going to be like comparing us. So like show them and steer them in the direction of like the ones that cost more and all the things. And don't forget to go on to marykay.com and leave a review for it. You just have to remember when you leave a review on Mary Kay, the customer facing website, you have to disclose that you're affiliated with the company.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Okay. I just texted it to you, Diane. So you have
Thank
it.
you, friend. All right. Okay. Purse bingo. Any questions, right?
Okay. They do need to get their bingo card ahead of time. And that is in our unit group. I posted in like the regular Facebook group. So if you need me to tag you in there, I can do that. Okay.
Okay. All right. I get to talk to you guys this week. Week 2 success on the success trail is about time management. Time management. So we are doing actually time management in the Pacesetters group right now too. And we talked about the mental bath, a booking, an affirmation, a tape was back in the day, but listen to a call, like use your telephone, something uplifting, and then or touch point with your director, and then H is the hotline. So it depends on how you or hug. So it depends on which version of bath you listen to. It's either a tape and a hug or a touch point and a hotline. Okay. So and why is that? Let's just go back to the other screen for 1 second. So, oh, you got bath on the bottom. All right.
All right, that's why I forwarded.
So, yeah. So why does this matter? It's the same reason we shower every day, right? Like we get dirty, like our brain gets full of nonsense. So as part of your weekly plan sheet, you got to put in the little Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like where is your B, your A, your T, and your H, right? Where are you putting that in on those little time blocks so that you know? So this is an hourly time block. Mary Kay's is half hours, is it? Our other time block. The Passion Planner offers a ton of free downloadables, passionplanner.com. If you want something that's broken out into like half hour increments. I really like 15, especially if you struggle with attention. I think 15-minute increments are phenomenal. You can do a lot with the ticking clock. Like if you set a timer, you will be surprised. Like if you've ever like had someone call you and say, I'll be over in 30 minutes, you can get the whole kitchen wiped down in 30 minutes, sweep out the place and like put the laundry back into the laundry basket and hide it in the coat closet in 30 minutes, right? Like, but if you're like, oh, I clean the house on Saturday mornings, dude, it's noon before you're able to get out in the yard and have a little fun. So I encourage you, it's called the Pomodoro timer method. And you set a timer for a fixed amount of time, and then you do what you're supposed to do in that timeline. So, another just trick before we get into the nuts and bolts of time management is if you struggle with task initiation, which is really a very common thing. And if you're fatigued, you got to do a little personal inventory. Am I hungry? Am I tired? Am I frustrated? Like all of those, if your blood sugar is low, all of those things can make executive function less effective and task initiation harder. So if you're in a struggle, just remember to do a little inventory checklist. Have I had a low protein recently? Am I hydrated? Like all of these things matter. But in addition to that, if you struggle with task initiation, something I have found most helpful is to not decide to complete the task, but just decide to start the task. So I'm like, oh, I'm just so not in the mood to make my calls right now. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to call 3 people. And if I still hate it, then I'll reschedule this. Like I give myself the out. It's the same thing. We had a beautiful guest here who I believe is a beauty consultant now. We talked about the getting out of bed problem. If you don't have a traditional job and a little one or an animal that forces you up and out the bed in the morning, and you struggle with that starting your day, like one of the things I used to have to tell myself is you don't have to stay up, but you do have to get up. So like if you start the day like with just a feeling of overwhelm, maybe you struggle with anxiety, or maybe you have some wellness issues, like maybe there's some aches and pains that you're like in the comfortable position and you just don't want to, give up that moment of comfort. Like you can just tell yourself, okay, you don't have to stay up, but you do have to get up. Get up, get started, get going. Give yourself the first three non-negotiables, like go to the potty, brush your teeth, drink some water, right? Like stretch for 5 minutes. That whole thing is 10 minutes of uprightness. And for many of us, those 10 minutes can be a game changer to how we feel about the rest of the day. Because when you linger starting your day or starting a task, then you have to overcome your self-talk, right? So like, even if you're like, oh, I'm just going to watch 15 minutes of my favorite show while I have my lunch break. And then you finish watching your favorite show. Now it's half an hour. If you don't have that conversation with yourself that says, okay, you do have to finish what you started, the self-talk is going to be eroding at your mental energy and your emotional energy. So even though today we're really talking about time management, what Danny talked about last week, the emotional wheel, like our behavior can dictate where we find ourselves on the emotional wheel. Sometimes you can wake up in the morning full of enthusiasm and ready to go and just like get off track of your schedule because you got distracted. Maybe like you had a nice weekend and there's more kitchen to clean than you did. You're putting away the dishes, blah, blah, blah. Time gets away from you. And now you're like feeling overwhelmed and discouraged because you were going to do something that you didn't do. It's okay. Like it's normal, but you have control over that. You can just decide to restart. Like, okay, maybe I won't make 2 hours of calls and then hostess packets, but maybe I can just start. And then the minute you're back in action, your self-talk reverts and your emotional wheel will follow. So just know that, and if you struggle, put right on your plan sheet, I have more control than I often believe, or I am in control. I have influence, because you really do have more influence than I think sometimes. Danny, make me a co-host.
You are a co-host.
So, oh, I don't see me. I only see you. Okay.
Oh,
So do you see me?
I see you. I see everybody.
All right. Then maybe it's my setting. All right. So, so there, when it comes to the practical aspect of framing up your week, it's also really, really important to know your own natural rhythms. Can we influence our rhythm? Well, oftentimes we think I'll do it when I feel like it, and then we get into action. But the reality is, action is what gets us in the mood, right? Like if you've ever struggled to just exercise, right? Nobody wants to get up. Who's in the mood to get up and put their sneakers on when it's rainy or snowy or still dark out, right? But the minute you're in the motion of like walking, all of a sudden you're like, okay, this is all right. Like it's all the same thing starting. We all have to tidy up the kitchen. Whoever wants to go into the kitchen and just really like, oh, let me get my hands wet and dirty and load that dishwasher, right? But the minute you're like coming down to the home stretch and you're about to close that door and push the start button, like you have such a feeling of like, yay, right? Your mood completely shifts. So I want you to remind yourself of how you feel at the end of task completion. That's where the mood shift comes. That's when you start to feel like it. So it's the action that has to precede it. So that being said, we're going to talk about framing your week and being efficient with the time that you have. But I want you to spend a minute beforehand and jot down, when are you sharpest? Are you a morning person? Do you wake up in like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m.? You've got like a golden hour. You are just like the sharpest tool in the shed. Are you like a girl who rocks it out? Like after lunch is like when you're going to do the hard task. Like, do you come back at like noon or 1 p.m. and you're like, okay, give me the hard thing now, because I'm well fed. I got all my nonsense out, all my little routine things out of the way in the morning, and now I have a lot left to do the hard thing. Or are you a night owl? Some of us really do function well after dinner. And if that's the case, I want you to remember, when you're scheduling things that are hard, don't try and do your hardest task during your dimmest part of the day. Like if you're a girl who can't, like I was a girl for a long time who couldn't sit down at 3 p.m. because I would literally fall asleep. Like my body clock was just set to like need rest at 3 p.m. And no matter what I did, I really struggled with it. There was a season in my life where 3 p.m. was a lull for me. And I used to get the mail at 2, right? And I'd bring it in and I'd sit down to look at the mail and it would be 3:45. And I'd be like literally my head nodding. So I had to figure out like I need to do something physical at 3 o'clock. Like, so I would walk the dog at 3 o'clock because I didn't want to give up that time. So if All right. So Rita says she gets at 6 to 10. She's up and running. So that's when you do your hard stuff, Rita. So we call that eating the frog. It's a Mark Twain theory that every day we have one task that's super hard. And if you eat your frog early in the day, everything else looks easy. So, but if you find yourself in the middle of a task initiation challenge in the middle of your sharpest part because it's hard, that is typically task management. And that's because we have more layers than we've accounted for. So if you're like, I'm going to call the customers, and then you find yourself not calling the customers, you have to ask yourself, what about this is stopping me? Is it I don't have the time? Well, I have the time. Okay. Is it I don't have the list? No, I have the list. Okay. Is it that I don't know what to say? No, I know what to say. Is it that my date book's not tight? So I don't know when I'm invited. Oh, yeah, I didn't mark in the date book when we're going to Dyes and when we're going to Pace Setters and when I have my Mary Kay time. You haven't colored in your pink yet. There's usually a reason. So if you'll just stop and be the boss of you that day, coach yourself to say, okay, what is my obstacle? And that will be so helpful. Then your plan sheet will be more and more and more executable. You'll be able to execute it. Okay. So let's talk about color coding our plan sheet. The first thing we put on our plan sheet is all of the non-negotiables. So if you work a day job and you have to show up at 7 and you get done at 3, we're going to we're going to write that in. We're going to just mark it off like day job, whatever, job. Like if maybe you love your day job, put happy faces in, whatever it is. Okay. Now the next part of that is you have to get there. And those are the things that we sometimes overlook. So put your commuting in if you don't work from down the hall. Okay. And then if you take a lunch break, maybe you want to leave that space now. Like I used to use my lunch break at the college all the time for Mary Kay things. So I could exercise on my lunch break. I could show product on my lunch break. So if you get a fixed lunch break that you can utilize, make sure to leave that available that, that is not part of your workday. You're able to utilize that another way. Maybe you need transition time after work. Do you have a super demanding job? Like do you need some transition time? So if you get off work at 3 and then you have reentry for your family at 4, but like you're like, okay, I need 15 minutes. So from 4 to 4:15, maybe that's when you like, I don't know, put some happy music on, reset the kitchen, wrestle with the kids, whatever it is that you do, but like make sure to build it into your schedule so that one, we don't have like I like to think of it like, we have an hourglass with our time running through it, but we want our hourglass to be a closed bulb, right? We don't want our hourglass. I think of like when we're not handling our time, the base of our hourglass close to the narrow part looks like a colander. There's little holes in it where time is just seeping out of it. We flip it and then more time is seeping out of it. So we want to know how to stop the seep. Where are we losing time that we, or just not accounting for things? So we've got our fixed things in there. Maybe like every Sunday we go to church and then we stay late and we volunteer for so maybe we block off 3 hours on a Sunday because we're worshiping and then we're staying to serve. Maybe every Wednesday is like family night, or every Thursday is girlfriend night, or maybe we do some exercise classes. Like you guys know what your schedule is. Oh, let's talk about the elephant in the room. If you've got kids who play sports, that gets a color, so there's all of these things. And God bless you mamas who have kids of like 2 or 3 years apart and they're on 3 fields at one time. So that leads us to like delegating it, dump it, and doing it. So there's no shame in asking a parent to bring a child, and you bring a child. Like a little child swap with people we trust is okay. It also helps to foster relationships, and it allows people to be willing to call you because you've asked for help. So it creates this really beautiful network. So just remember, we don't have to be all things to everyone all the time. Meal prep is another thing. If you have a friend who loves to cook, maybe for $40 she'd make 2 meals a week for you. Like maybe she's retired, or she just loves to cook, or that's her jam. Like tell her your family loves chicken. Ask her to make you a meal. You don't have to make everything your kids eat, like, or your family eats. It's really okay to swap with people. You can do that. You can do a meal swap. Maybe on Sunday you make a crock pot meal and your sister makes a crock pot meal, and you double it and you switch. So be thinking about, where can I add time back into my week pretty simply. My senior sales director, Judy Roman, taught me if you're making a meatloaf, you should make 3. Like it takes just as long to make 3 meatloafs as one for the meal and 2 for the freezer. Freaking genius, right? Like if your budget allows you to have the extra in it, then utilize that, buy your time back, so that's a really great thing. Maybe you have a customer that loves to clean and she would love to swap some cleaning time for some Mary Kay products. Like be looking for resources to make your hourglass as airtight as possible. We don't want any colanders in the bottom of our hourglass. So once you've got all your filled in things, right? I want you to, before you even put in a Mary Kay thing, you're wearing a lot of hats here. You've got a day job, you've got some family time, even if you don't have children, like you maybe have elder care, you have a neighbor that you look in on, like we are all serving our community one way or another. So as you put those things on there, before you put your pink time in, I want you to pick some self-care. Pick a color that makes you happy and make it your self-care time, because you cannot fill from an empty cup. You cannot. So figure out like what brings you joy. Do you love walking when the sun comes up? Do you enjoy a long hot bath? Do you have a favorite podcast you want to listen to? Like, what is it that just makes you feel a little taller, a little more peaceful, a little richer? So that self-care is so, so important. It is not selfish. It is like maintaining the car. You would not take your car on a road trip, on a long trip that you haven't checked the oil, checked the gas, made sure the air cabin filter was clean, all of the things, right? Because you want that car to go long and you want it to run well. Your maintenance is the same thing. You want to go long and you want to run well. So your inspiration, your Bible verse, your inspiration for the day, so important. Just your focus for the day, so important. Your 6 most important things for Mary Kay, your 6 most important things not Mary Kay. If you will write your 6 most important things down, I challenge you to just do it for 1 week. Just 1 week. If you will write it down every night before bed, I promise you will sleep better. And Heather said something really powerful. She said, I always have a notebook with me. And Heather's having a great Mary Kay season. And that's because she's very efficient. Because when you don't have to remember everything, you're able to figure things out better. Your tools are for remembering, your brain is for figuring stuff out. So make those notes and then review them from time to time and see, where can I be more efficient? Danny, go back to our weekly plan sheet one more time. So now we've got it all filled out, but there's some white space left, right? So some of that white space is going to remain. We call those margins. What are margins for? Margins are for when things don't go as planned, right? Like, so today I'll be putting some note cards in my tote bag when I go to Pace Setters, because the last time I was scrambling in like the girl who didn't have a clock, because there was so much construction and traffic. And I serve guests on Monday night and I want to be prepared and peaceful, right? Don't you guys want high energy and good peace? So I have 2 choices. I can pray for all the lights to be green when I leave the house and for there to be no road construction and everyone have the safest journey they've ever had, right? Or I can know that's probably unrealistic, too many variables. So I can just plan on being early, but I can have something in my tote bag that I can do, so that if I am early, I didn't say, well, geez, now I'm sitting in this parking lot scrolling on my phone, which is totally ineffective, right? So have those, leave some white space so you have some margins. That's where your piece is. Let's suppose, if you have kids in sports, like, let me just tell you, that kid is going to make the playoffs when you didn't plan for it. So you just better block some playoff time in right now. And if team doesn't make it, then you have a little extra family time, a little extra work time, right? Because it's really hard to rearrange your entire week when all of a sudden you have 3 more games to go to. So it's that planning that really protects us. But now you can see, where is your pink going to go? So I have 2 kinds of pink in my weekly plan sheet. I have pink that's just enrichment. So like, I have my commuting time is always blocked off in my calendar too. If you don't have your commuting time, I shade it in gray. And then I look and see, am I commuting with someone or without someone? Is it something I need to take notes for? Is it something I can just converse or listen to? So my commuting time becomes like $1 million message. It becomes a coaching for a consultant. It becomes confirming appointments for hostesses. Cause I can just like, okay, just reminder your party's on Thursday. Like, you schedule some of that, but the voice stuff you can actually do while you drive, which is really phenomenal, because, technology has allowed us to like speak to our dashboard and it initiates for us. So it's so cool. But like, that's another way that you can eke out a few extra minutes of the day and protect that downtime that you have. But in addition to that, then I have my green time also. And that's when those are IPAs. That's when I'm actually earning money. So it's pink and green. So if you have Mary Kay time, that's your definite money making. You have Monday nights, you're bringing guests. Saturday mornings, you're bringing guests. Maybe you book every Thursday for, a happy hour facial or a skincare class. So that would be your pink and green time. So your pink time where you're not earning is very different than your pink time where you are earning. And I'm going to encourage you, like, if you don't water the plant, put it in the sun and rotate it every once in a while, it will eventually die. Like, you have to have pink time. When do you do your Mary Kay University? When are you looking at the Mary Kay? Do you log on to In Touch every single day and look at the MK News? Like, do you watch the product training videos that the company produces for us? those things will take time. They don't accidentally happen. So again, like when is a good time based on your body clock and your calendar? Like maybe that's a lunch break thing you could do. Maybe you just like your day's a little too demanding that you don't want to be like engaging with Mary Kay customers in the midst of your already busy workday. But would 15 minutes of Mary Kay training make you feel a little empowered and uplifting? Because Lord knows they make those videos happy, right? So that these are things that can be on your plan sheet. But then don't forget like your housework that you have not hired out or delegated, and your shower time also has to be in here. A lot of women are like, I don't know where my week went. I'm like, well, when are you drying your hair, girl? She's like, what do you mean? Like most of us need 45 minutes to get ready, like an average of 45 minutes. That's like 5 hours at the end of a week, right? So that's where your hourglass has a colander at the bottom of the bulb. If you're like not accounting for it, do you do story time with a little in the house? Maybe you allot a half an hour for bedtime. And when you start paying attention, bedtime really takes 45 minutes. It's okay. You just have to be realistic with your schedule. Because when you are, then you stop resenting the time in your schedule that's pushing you off schedule. How fun would it be to allot an hour for bedtime routine, whether you have children or not, and then find out it only took 45 minutes and now you just have this peaceful 15-minute buffer that like allows you just to breathe a little more deeply. Okay. So these are the pieces of your week that will give you more peace in your week. That's ultimately the goal. Is your weekly plan sheet allows you to be efficient, effective, calm, and feeling like you're in control. And entrepreneurs resist planning more than anyone else. They resist planning and accountability. We love our freedom. But there is freedom in this. If you don't use your weekly plan sheet, you wind up living in guilt. You're thinking about you're watching your favorite show and you're thinking you could be making calls, and then you're making calls thinking you should be making just cupcakes for the next event, and then you're like making cupcakes thinking you should have been doing laundry. Like you're shitting on yourself all week long. Like if you use this, it's so liberating. It allows you to be fully present. Like I have no problem putting my phone on a charger and walking away. Like there are times that I am doing things that are not related to connecting with other people, and when you have that peace, then you're fully present. When I pick up my phone, you get my undivided attention because I'm not fractured. So if you feel like you're, especially if you feel like your memory is challenged, that is usually a sign that your time is not managed well, or you need some creatine, but that's a whole nother training. So, but seriously, if you're having a hard time remembering details, sometimes it's because you're multitasking too much. We only have a finite amount of energy. Multitasking really is not our friend. It just gives a little less attention to everything we're doing simultaneously. So can you drive the car and listen to a training? Absolutely. Are you going to retain all of it? Probably not, because you're focused on driving the car. Sometimes it's just background running for you. But the thing is, if you listen to it on the way there and on the way back, you're going to retain more of it. And the really cool thing is some of the things I get to share with you today, I learned on an audio cassette in the front seat of a little Ford Escort. Like I drove around brand new to Mary Kay in a rural community where my commute was always a long time. And I listened to Mary Kay audio cassettes. And sometimes I was looking at a spiral bound map and thinking about my hostess, and I wasn't listening as intentionally as I wanted to, but I can overcome objections like a pro because I listened to that cassette until the wheels started to squeak. And like it's buried in my subconscious. So when I need it, it's able to be reached for. So just know that certain things can be multitask. Like maybe you're a girl who walks on the treadmill. Or you walk your neighborhood. You can play the same thing over and over again while you do that. I love, my pastor always says he prays through the neighborhood. He prays over the whole community while he's walking through it. Maybe that can be you can do that. You can have a little worship time and a little workout time at the same time. So you know best how your body functions. But in order to be intentional with it, you have to apply it practically. All right, Dan, give us that next screen again.
Okay.
All right. So one of the things we love to do is to help you troubleshoot this. We love to help you be more efficient with this because we have experience and we have little scars on our knees that we can save you from skinning your own. And until you are in execution mode, you won't know where you could get better. Like it's going to be imperfect. Your first weekly plan sheet. I'm going to give you the final disclaimer before we sign off for lunch break training. Okay. So my new beauty consultants are my favorite when they're so excited. They're going to be at everything, right? If she's a high eye, she's all bubbly and shimmying, then she's like, oh, of course I'll be there on Monday, and of course I'll be there on Saturday, and I can't wait to go to career conference, and oh my gosh, seminar's coming, let me see if I have enough airline points. And then the following Monday comes and she's like texting me half an hour before, like, I don't think I'm going to make it today. And the thing is, I wasn't expecting her to make it when she said she was that day. I was optimistic she would work out all the details. But what I know is last week you weren't, and this week you are. And even though you're very excited to fit Mary Kay into your life, if your life was already full before you said yes, it's going to take a little bit of adjustment to fit us in so you can be consistent. And we know that. We love your enthusiasm in the beginning. And when it all works out, like you hope it will right from day one, that's a bonus. But this is the skill that allows you to be a woman of your word. This is where you figure out where the hiccups are. It's there's no shame in being imperfect. It's growth. Like you can want to say yes to a lot of things that you haven't figured out where they fit yet. So it's really okay to like be a work in progress. And sometimes you can say, I really would like to do 3 parties a week, but I just can't seem to figure it out. And then we'll stay with you. We'll troubleshoot. We'll figure out, maybe we'll teach you to have 2 hostesses at one time. We'll teach you how to have a virtual. Like we'll figure out alongside you how to implement this in a way that best honors what your goals are. But just know there's still times that even Danny and I are a work in progress. You know, we're like, oh, how is that going to fit? Well, we can do that. Like I have a consultant right now I'm trying to set up coaching with, and she only has a window of coaching when I cannot commit to being consistent. And I'm like, well, let's get up early one day. Like I'm willing to do that. Like, you know, if you were serious about something, would you be willing to wake up an hour earlier, 1 or 2 days a week to advance the ball? Because you'll be surprised when you get committed how resourceful you become. So I can't wait for coaching. I love time management coaching. It's where I grow to. It's still an area of my life where I continue to evolve. And I am not where I would like to be yet, but I am moving in that direction. And to me, that is so empowering. And I would love to just pass that on to you. So I would love to coach on time management this week. How about you, Danny?
I love time management. I love color coding things. It's my happy zone. I like doing it on paper, and then I have a virtual one that my husband sees so he knows like when he came home he knew I was on the Zoom right now so he didn't have to worry about it. So
Right.
it's empowering for you and also your family because if they don't know your schedule then that can get a lot of friction because I know Josh would always be frustrated. He's like, "You're on Zoom again." I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's Monday." Like, but now he just looks, he goes, "Okay," and then moves on.
Well, and you said something really important too. You said if your family doesn't know, and friction. So we teach people how to treat us. No one will respect your time more than you respect your time. So if you say you're going to exercise on your lunch break and you don't, and then you come home and you're like, oh, you got to hang out with the kids for another hour. I'm going to go walk. Like, well, I thought you did that on your lunch break. If you're like, oh, on Mondays I go to Mary Kay, and then one Monday you're not putting on your skirt, and they're like, what are you doing? You've taught them that Mondays are now negotiable. So it's really important to write it down and commit to it, and then be a woman of your word to yourself,
Mhm.
because that's where everyone else learns to honor what you say as well.
Yes. And then the other thing I just want to zoom in on here, and I think this is important, especially for new consultants, because like when we're new, we're like, everyone would say yes. Like, why would somebody say no to a booking to me? Like, at least that's how my brain was. I was like, everybody's going to say yes because I was just too dumb to doubt. But like, just know that like not everybody you ask will say yes, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it's not no forever. It just might be like no for now. So when you start doing consistent bookings, every single day and you play out the volume of numbers, like this statistic is pretty accurate. So it might be a little higher, like as you start getting, really getting confident with your wording and knowing what you're going to say and like sometimes overcoming objections. But just know like the it's kind of like a third is usually what it is, like a third and a third and a third. It kind of works out in like every aspect of your business with your bookings, with your rebookings. So I just want to like put that out there for the
And
noobs.
2 new bookings equals one holding. So that's an important thing too. If you're overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, if I made 10 attempts a day and I book 10 in the week, you're really holding 5. And that, and we'll, if you need to know how to have multi appointment times, like in one time slot, that's something we can coach you on as well. But like, it's really important that you know that like the airlines double book. People pack suitcases and don't get on planes, you guys. Like the airlines double book. The airlines are not immune to people's schedule changing, right? Our hairstylists have gone to charging for your time slot, like a $25 appointment fee when you book it. And when you come, they take it off your bill, because so many people just don't show up. There's a lot of competition for our attention in this season of life, and we're not going to be immune to it. So that's part of time management. And that's another thing we can help you drill down on, is how to manage those time blocks in the way, like what happens if my appointment reschedules and this was my Wednesday appointment, like how to help you be more double booked for that time slot, and also how to repurpose that time so it's still income producing for you in the event that you get a rescheduled appointment.
Yes, awesome. Does anybody have any questions for us before we bid you adieu? Cool. Diane, amazing training. Like you killed it. You crushed it. You did so much better with more details than I would have. So glad you did this one.
This is probably the area I've appreciated most in my business because I really had no handle on time management when it started. And I felt like I was always late, always missing details, always, I just, even when I showed up, I felt behind, I felt ill prepared. And I realized that I had more influence over than I knew. And I still, to this day, can have improved focus, but having prepared with the schedule allows me to make that mental shift into each mindset. So if you also struggle with preparation and focus, just know that this component of time blocking and being intentional is a layer to helping you feel more at ease in each hour of your schedule.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, can't wait to see everybody on Bingo Wednesday. And if you are part of the pace setters, make sure that you have submitted your numbers to your director.
Absolutely.
All
All
right.
right.
Goodbye,
Bye
everybody.
for now, friends.